Hi, welcome to our second session, and today we're going to be looking at balances. Right, so for our warm-up game today, we're going to play points and patches. So for my helper, Freya. So points are smaller bits of our body, so points are going to be things like hands, elbows, knees, feet, okay? And patches are the bigger bits of our body, so we're going to have tummy, shoulders, back, and bottom. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you a way in which I want you to move. So we're going to maybe start with jogging. And when I say stop, I'm going to tell you what I would like you to balance on. Okay, so for this game, you can travel around if you do have space. Just remember social distancing. But if you are limited on space, you can do it on the spot, which is what we're going to do. So can we start with jogging? And balance on 2 points. Good. Hey, jumping. Lovely. How about 3 points? Balance on 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Good. Well done. How about some skipping? Good. And 1 patch. Can you balance on 1 patch? Good. Okay, teachers, if you keep that going until they're nice and warm, and if you vary how many points and how many patches and mix them up. Now we're nice and warm, we're going to do our stretching. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of our head and we're going to work all the way down to our toes. So we're going to start with our head. So we're going to look all the way over to this side, other side, that's it. And forwards, and the other side. And forwards, up to the ceiling, and forwards, down to your toes. And forwards, so we're going to do that one more time. So you're going to look over your shoulders, that way. And forwards, over to the other side. And forwards, down to your toes, and forwards, and up to the ceiling, and forwards. Good, now we're going to roll those shoulders all the way back. That's it, get them all nice and mobile. That's it. All right, now nice straight arms all the way back past your ears, keeping those arms straight all the way around. That's it, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to try the same, but forwards. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Now let's see if you're nice and clever. Can we go one way, one the other? So we go round and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get stuck on that one, hold your beach ball, Freya, and we're going to swing the beach ball. Look, from side to side. That's it, like that, until you go all the way round. That's it. Keep going. There you go. You got it. Well done. Now, hands on your hips for me, and we're going to just put our feet shoulder width apart. That's it, and we're just going to push our hips forwards. That's it. That's it, just push your hips forwards. And then we're going to make our table shape. So we're going to take our bottoms backwards. That's it, and we're going to make a nice straight shape. Good, so if I have my cup of tea, I can put it on there. If she goes too low, what's going to happen to my cup of tea? Oh, it's going to slide off. Or it's going to slide off the back. So we want that nice straight back position. Good. Now done, stand up, and we're going to go side. And side. Good, and then draw a big circle all the way around. Good, well done. Put your feet together. Hands just above your knees, not on your knees. We're going to draw a big circle like this. And then we're going to pretend to be a frog. So we go ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Well done. Good. Now we're going to crouch down small onto our toes. And we're going to stick our hands to the floor. So we go... Right, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to lift your bottom up to the ceiling. So we go 1, 2, 3, and up. Good. Well done, and crouch down. That's it, we're going to do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's it, good. Now, we're going to see if you can balance on your toes like this. Can you balance? Ooh, good, we'll be learning about this one later. Good. Okay, and sit down. We're going to sit down with nice straight legs, pointed toes. Can you do that? And you're going to imagine you've got a big piece of string at the top of your head and you're going to pull it until your back's up straight, knees squeezed into the floor and toes are pointed. Got it? Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch to the ceiling and then we're going to reach all the way down. So we keep ourselves nice and straight all the way down as far as you can go. Good, and up again. Well done. Should we have another go? Give your legs a little bit of a shake. And stretch up. And all the way down. Good. Well done. Give your legs a shake. That's it. Right, so now we're going to bring our heels of our feet in together. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to bounce our legs. Now, in my classes, I always get people to pick where we're going to go. So, where are we going to go? Where are we going to flap our wings to today, Freya? Disneyland. Okay, so flap our wings then. Flap, 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 flap. Where could we go on our boat? I'd like to go to Barbados on a nice big boat. So we're going to rock from side to side. Like this. Well done. Now, where are we going to go on our super fast jet? Oh, let's go
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay, we're off to New Zealand. So we're going to pull ourselves down and we pull our tummy all the way down. Now, Freya's a bit better at this one than me, and she's going to try and pull her tummy down to her feet. That's it. And you go all the way down. Good. Well done. Now, we're going to take our feet out a little bit. Don't like this one. Now, you're going to put our nose, Freya, ew, on our toes, okay? Are we ready? Yeah. Right, so lean forwards and put your nose on your toes. Good, well done. Don't put your big toe up your nose. That won't be good. Right, and come up nice and tall. And we're going to sit wide. We're going to squeeze our knees into the floor and point our toes. We've got nice pointy toes. We stretch up tall. We're going to turn all the way over to the other foot, Freya. And we're going to come all the way down. Can you put your nose on your knee? And stretch up and twist and all the way down. Good, well done, and come up, well done. This time you're going to give yourself a nice big hug. So this one, you're going to come across your body, other one. That's it, and we're going to go all the way down. And come up and switch and go the other way. Good, and this is all hard work. So we're going to have a nice big rest in the middle. Good, well done. And hands and knees. Now, are you ready for our happy cat and our sad cat? So for our happy cat, heads up. That's it, nice big smile. And then our sad cat, you're going to put your head down between your arms, round your back up here. That's it. And happy cat. Sad cat. Happy cat. Sad cat. Shake your tail. Oh, Freya's favourite. She's ready for it. What do you want to do?
Disco cat.
Disco cat. So draw a big circle all the way around. Look like you're having a party there, Freya. Right, bottom back on your feet. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Good. Now this is our mouse stretch. So feet together, knees together. That's it. And then push your shoulders down. That's it. And then we're going to push all the way through until we're into our seal stretch. So push down and up. Straighten your arms out, squeeze your legs together. That's it, until we're into our seal stretch. Lovely. Right, now, if we're feeling bendy, Freya's a lot bendier than I am, so Freya's going to demonstrate this one. We're going to see if you can touch your head with your toes. So stay on your tummy. That's it. Now bring your feet up behind. Yeah, very bendy. So see if you can touch your head with your toes. Don't worry if you can't. I can't do it. Right, well done. Now hands and knees then, Freya. Okay, and we're just going to lean forwards over our hands. That's it. And then fingers facing out, rock from side to side. Fingers facing your toes, knees, and lean back. Good, bottom back on your feet, hands together. Meatballs and spaghetti, meatballs. Spaghetti, meatballs, spaghetti. Stretch up, what do we want with it? We want... We want cheese. Well done. Right, so what we're doing balances. Now, before we start any balances, we need to talk about our base and also our centre of mass. So our base is what we're balancing on. So if I'm stood here nicely like this, I'll be balancing on my feet. Okay, now if we're stood like this, our centre of mass is about here in the middle of our body. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Freya, use down here. Now, it's really important where our centre of mass is, I like to call it our balancing spot. Now, if it's above our base, so stand up tall, look forwards, then she's nice and balanced, she's not going to wobble and she's not going to fall over. But if we take this centre of mass away from our base, so if she goes up on her toes, oh, is that easier or is that harder to balance? Yeah, can you see it makes it harder? Now, the same thing happens if you take that centre of mass forwards. Can you see? Yeah, it's hard to balance. The same if you take it backwards, it's hard to balance. So, we're just going to think about that when we're doing our balances. Where is our balancing spot? Is it over the top of what we're balancing on? Okay, so we're going to start with our stretch shape. So we're going to start with feet glued together. We're going to put our arms up by our ears. Now we did our stretch shape in our first session. Now we're going to see if we can turn it into a balance. We're going to come up onto our toes and we're going to squeeze really tight. Now for it to be classed a balance, it needs to stay still for the count of 3. So can we do it? You ready? 1. Ooh. Okay, should we do it together? Ready? Up on our toes. 1, 2, 3. And down. Okay, well done. Your turn. Okay, so for our next shape, we're going to do our star shape. Now, we did our shapes last week, so we've done our shape, turn it into star shape. Okay, now to turn it into our balance, we're going to squeeze all our muscles really tight. We need lots of body tension for our balances, and we're going to come up onto our toes. So lift up, squeeze tight, see if we can balance it. Can you squeeze everything? Squeeze your knees back. So it's important that we keep our legs nice and straight, and then hold that position, ready, and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, and come down. Well done. Your go. Okay, so for our next balance, we're going to do a single leg balance. So when we do this one, what we've got to do is we've got to think about where our balancing spot is. So we need to make sure that it's over the top of the base that we're going to balance on. So we make sure that the leg that we're balancing on is nice and straight, squeezing our knee back, holding ourselves nice and tight, arms out, and we bring our leg up. So, prayer. Can we do it? Arms out, and bend this leg up, point your toe, and squeeze. We've got 1, 2, 3, and down. Well done, your go. Okay, so once you've had a go at your bent leg balance, we're still doing our single leg balance here, so we're bending that knee up, we can then start straightening it out. Now once you start straightening your arms and legs out, it makes that balance a little bit trickier, so you need to squeeze really, really tight. Okay, so that's from the side. So make sure the bottom knee is squeezed, shoulders are back, and everything's all tight. Okay, you can also do that with your leg out to the side, so here. So once you've had a go at your single leg star balance out to the side, you can then start transferring your weight. So my new helper, Finley. Right, so make sure that the children, when they're doing this, have nice straight arms and nice straight legs. So they're going to do their balance, point your toe, hold, 1, 2, 3, switch leg, hold on the other one, point your toe, squeeze, 1, 2, 3. So we're just working on transferring the weight and looking at moving our centre of mass, point your foot, as we do it, okay? So we've done our single leg balance with our foot out in front, we've done our foot out to the side. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to take our foot up behind. Now this is our arabesque, so when we do our arabesque, we put our arms out to the side, we're going to take up our heel behind us, making sure that our bottom leg is nice and tight. So Freya. Good, so she needs to stand, squeeze that back knee back, arms out. Now lift your back leg up behind you, squeeze that bottom leg, hold nice and tight. Now what she's aiming for is once she gets this nice shape is to push that heel up until it's in line with her bottom. But what is really important is those nice straight legs. Okay, well done. You're go. Right, so for our next one, we're going to do our Y scale. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand and you're going to place it on your leg by your knee. Make sure that bottom leg is squeezed back and knee nice and tight. You're going to slide your hand down your knee. Then what you're going to do is you're going to see if you can lift your leg a little bit higher. Now, the way we're going to do that is you're going to take your hand in front and you're going to hold your heel or your ankle to stretch your leg out. Now, the common mistake is that they pull it up this way. All right, so Freya, can I borrow you a second? So, nice and straight, strong bottom leg. She's going to lift her leg up. She's going to hold onto her ankle. She's going to squeeze really, really tight. Head up for me. Squeeze tight. And ready, hold, your go. So moving on, so what we're going to do is we've done lots of balances using our feet as our base. So we're going to move up our body and the next thing we move on to is our knees. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single knee balance. So down onto your knees for me. Right, and she's going to do, it's a bit like a mini arabesque. So she's going to take her foot out behind, arms out to the side, and she's going to balance like this. So you ready? And squeeze. It's a lot harder than it looks. You'll go. So we've done our balancing on our feet, we've done our balancing on our knees, we're going to move up to our hips or our bottom. So Freya, can you come and help me? Sit on your bottom. She's going to sit on her bottom and we're going to do our piked V-sit. So hands on the floor, and it's called a piked V-sit because our legs are in our pike position. So head up for me, we're going to lift up our legs. Now first of all you can do it with your hands on the floor to support yourself. And once you've mastered that, we can then bring our hands up to the side, squeeze your knees, and we're going to hold this position. Okay, and squeeze. Well done. Now, once she's done that, we can then do a straddle. So you face the camera for me. Right, now when we do our straddle, we're going to lift up our legs, and we're going to put our hands in front here. Squeeze our knees nice and tight. Again, if you do need your hands to help, you can place them on the floor in front of you here, and then squeeze those legs. Okay, you'll go. Right, so we're moving up our body again. So we've gone from our bottom, now we're going all the way up to our shoulders. So, Finley, can you come and help me with this one? Come sit here. That's it, move bottom forwards. That's it, now lie down. Right, so the first thing we need to do for our shoulders down is we're going to lie flat. We're going to put our hands on the floor. So the palms of our hands are going to be like this, so we can push on the floor to help us get up to the position. Now, the way we move our balancing spot over the top of our shoulders is we're going to take our feet over our head to about here. Once we get here, we then push through our toes, we push our tummy, and we squeeze our bottom nice and tight until we're in this straight position. Now, the way we can hold it there is you're going to bend your elbows, you're going to put your hands on your back, and then you squeeze everything really, really tight. Now, what we're after is our hips in line with that triangle, our knees in line with the triangle, and our ankles, and then we can squeeze and we can hold that shape. Okay, have a go. Right, so we've worked all the way up our body. We've done our feet, we've done our knees, we've done our hips, we've done our shoulders. So we're going to move on to our hands. Now, we're not going to do our handstand, we're going to do what we call a frog balance. Okay, so for this one, Finley. Now, when we do our frog balance, our hands are going to be our base. So we want a nice, strong base. So what we're going to do is we make sure our hands are shoulder width apart, so Finley's hands here, and we make them nice and wide because they're going to be our new feet. So we want nice, strong hands. Now, when we do our frog balance, what we have to do is we're going to come up onto our toes first of all, and we take our knees out nice and wide here. Because what's going to happen is when we do this is we lean our body forwards until our knees are on our arms. Once we're in that position, our balancing spot is then over our base, and we can start balancing by bringing our feet up. Okay, so what he's going to do is he's going to lean forwards, put his legs on his arms, and then he's going to do his balance. Okay, try again. And feet up, hold, and come down. Lovely, well done. Now, if we're doing this one, well, the thing we need to make sure is when they're in this position, if they start to fall forward, they don't bend their arms, or there will be some squashed noses, and we don't want that to happen. So if they're in this position, they feel they're going to fall, they just move their hand forward to stop their nose from touching the floor. So I'll just show you it side on so you can see it. Off you go. Squeeze everything tight. And hold. You'll go. So we've moved all the way up to the body, and now the final one is your head. Now, this is quite an advanced skill when we do our headstand, so only move on to this if your participants are competent at all the previous skills. Okay, so Finley, are we ready? Okay, so when we do our headstand, the most important thing that we have is our strong base. So we have our head here, we have our hands here, making that triangle position. Okay. Now you should always see your hands. So Finley, can you put your hands on the handprints? Put your head on the spot. Can you see your hands?
Yes.
Now what happens if he moves his hand wider than that triangle? Finn, can you see your hands?
No.
No. And then that is a really unstable base. All right, so we must make that triangle position. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to start to lift our hips up and move our balancing spot until it's over that nice triangle base. So lift your hips up for me and step in. So he's here. Can you see his hips are now in line with that triangle shape? Now this is the position that you want them all to practice. Okay, have a go. Once your participants are competent in taking the weight over their hands and making that nice triangle position, then we can start lifting up. So, hands shoulder width apart, head in front, you must be able to see your hands, tiptoe in for me. So here he's nice and balanced already. What he's going to do is he's going to start bending one leg in, heel to bottom, toes to ceiling, here. So we just start with one leg at a time. Once you've mastered that one leg, then you can start lifting the other leg in as well. Lift your other leg in, that's it, hold. And then squeeze everything really, really tight so you can hold the balance. Have a go. Once your participant is competent in the bent leg headstand, we can move it up to straight leg headstand. All right, so hands shoulder width apart, head in front. Now, again, he walks his toes in, he's going to bend his knees up, and once he's in that position, he's going to straighten his legs up. Now, what sometimes happens once we've straightened those legs up is we can go over the top. We don't want that to happen. Now, if they are going over the top, a safety precaution, if you look towards your toes for me, Finn, they will roll out. Okay, and have a go. Hope you've enjoyed the session, and we'll see you again next week.